a personality shaped by being an athlete and a background in mainstream sports media, I found that the stories I was most interested in telling were the ones often overlooked, the ones that might not otherwise be told, the ones that show the intangible and not just the highlight reel. The Sports Council is about highlighting the great, the good, the unique, and everything in between in the Pacific Northwest sports world. I'm Jamie Council. Thanks for joining me.
You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Welcome to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. I'm Jamie Council, and this week we're talking playoffs with Central Washington football, and we're joined by head coach Chris Fisk. Coach, how's it going?
Good. Yeah, it's going great.
Well, you guys are coming off a very exciting finish, getting the Lonestar Conference Championship. How did it feel to achieve that and do it in such dramatic fashion?
Amazing. I mean, it's a culmination of a lot of work. I think that was the thing that hit me. And I've won those things before, but we've been working at this thing in the Lonestar Conference for so long and come up just short and just shy of it by PATs or field goals or one game here or one game there. And, 3 consecutive second place finishes to finally get it done, and the drama surrounding the way it got done really kind of hit you after the game. But just, so proud of the kids, and not just this year's kids, the guys that set the stage for this over the last, 5 or 6 years since COVID, and the coaches that have come through here. Like, I took some time to make sure to reach out every coach that's coached on our staff in the past, in the present, and those are the guys that really make all this. And so, I think we've been a model of consistency over the last 4 years in the Lonestar Conference in terms of just being consistently in it every year, and to finally break through it's very gratifying and very exciting for our fans and very exciting for our families that have kids here in our program, former families and parents that reached out to me afterwards, our president, our AD, and all the student body here.
It's something to say you guys play in the Lonestar Conference, a very difficult conference. And let's reflect back on that dramatic fashion as time expired. Kennedy McGill connecting with Logan Brady to get the 2-point win over Western Oregon. Why was that drawn off? Or just kind of talk about being a coach and making a decision for the final play of the game.
Well, it's interesting because we've been very fortunate all year to score from way outside of that field zone area, or score running the ball down into the goal line area. And so we don't have a lot of footage or film on the season of us throwing the ball in that scenario. And so I don't think there was a lot for them to go on. And the next thing is we had a really interesting personnel grouping in there. We had no tailback in. We had a fullback, so the quarterback could be in the quarterback run game, but we had a second quarterback on the field, which we've had some shenanigans this year that we've been up to with 2 quarterbacks. And so I think that personnel group really softened up the defense for all of the trickery that we could do. And we just ran a base concept that we've been working on since week 1 of fall camp. And fortunately, they just really kind of blew a coverage, and Kennedy found Logan all by himself in the end zone there. And it's almost storybook ending, right? Like if you wrote a movie script and just said, you're going to take that 2-minute drive down there after having some struggles through the day and finish it off throwing the football. And that's something that I told the coaches during the all-conference vote when it came up to voting for all-conference quarterback, was like, we don't ask Kennedy to throw the ball very often. Doesn't mean he can't throw the ball really, really well when we need him to. And that kept him at 100% on clock drives for the year. And so he can do those things. And just to see the way the kids, I think every piece of our culture came into play of, just how we train in the off season, the effort, discipline, commitment, pride, and the toughness that we play with. I think all those things came out in the game and really just perfectly culminated there at the end, and really gave an instant classic and a storybook ending to a storybook season.
Absolutely. And you mentioned it. You guys don't throw the ball that often. Definitely a run offense. Logan Brady, a redshirt senior, somebody that, and in today's game in college, it's, you don't see players stick in a program their whole time. A Washington product. Just talk about trusting, you trust all your players you put on the field, but in that instance, it happened to be Logan Brady.
Yeah, it's really all of them that we trust, and it's really the defense's choice on who's going to get open or where the ball's going to go on that play. But Logan's journey here has been awesome because he started as most freshmen do. He was a bit of a knucklehead when he first got here, which he's very open about, and really just over the last 3 years grew up into a role where he became a count on me type of guy that was a great starter for us going into his junior year and had to battle a shoulder injury and get back into it at the end of last year and then battle it out with Marcus Cook. And he's just been the typical like grinder guy from Washington that's come in here. And I think we've tried to out recruit him every year, and he just keeps on performing and doing his job. And I have a ton of respect for him because he's great in the classroom. He's great in the community. He's a great human, and he does everything the right way. And to see him have that success, I love it. I love it when good kids get rewarded. It's super gratifying.
Absolutely. So with that, you guys are hosting your first playoff game since 2017 as you start Division II playoffs. What does it mean to start the journey and playoffs at home?
Well, I'll tell you this. I got here in 2016 and we fell one game short of making the playoffs. And then we went undefeated in 2017 to be the number one seed in the region. We had a bye in the first round, and then we hosted a playoff game and lost in overtime to the eventual national champions. And I think I took it for granted in 2017. I said, well, it's going to be like this every year. And
surprise.
It's hard. Like, it's really hard to get into a position where you can host. It's really hard to win a conference championship at this level in a really good football league. And, I don't take it for granted anymore. I think it's, especially after the last 4 years, it's really, really hard to win college football games. And what these kids have done consistently week after week, the focus that they brought. So it's really gratifying that we're hosting a home football game here in the playoffs for our fans. I think it's super exciting for our kids, but also when you have to travel in the playoffs, it's not easy for families to find out on Sunday, hey, you got to go to Gunnison, Colorado or Bemidji, Minnesota, or wherever you end up playing, down in Colorado to Golden, Colorado. And so to be able to have a home game where all these families can converge to Ellensburg on Saturday, watch their young people play, for our student body to be able to come out and watch it, our band, just kind of everybody, our alumni, our boosters, and to be able to give the home game experience to them is something I'm very proud of. But we need to come out and we need to show up and play on Saturday.
Absolutely. And you guys are 10-1. Your one loss coming to a Division I opponent when you guys traveled to Montana, a quality FCS school. So last time we talked was around that time heading into the beginning of conference play. How would you say that you guys have progressed the most from that time starting conference to now starting playoffs?
I think we've just been consistent. I don't know that there's obviously some growth there, but I think the thing that I've been most proud of the last couple seasons with our football program is we've had some injuries. We've had some key starters go out, and we're getting a couple back this week. But to watch our backups come in and to not really have any drop off in our performances and our intensity, the enthusiasm that we take the field with, I really am blown away by these kids and the coaches, the way they get the next man up mentality going, and they don't point fingers or blame, well, we don't have this guy or that guy. They just keep playing football, and all of them are very serious about winning, and they want to really put on a good show for the people that come to watch them.
Absolutely. And let's talk this weekend. You guys are the fifth ranked seed and playing a 15 seed as Western Colorado comes to town. What can you expect?
Well, first off, throw rankings and seeds out the board, out the door.
It's my job to ask. Yeah. It's my job to put that in there.
It's fantastic. It is. It's awesome that people think of you that highly, but once you get to the playoffs, all that stuff goes out the door, and it's football. We know these guys. This is our third consecutive year playing them in the first round. I text their head coach as soon as I found out we were playing them. I just text him the phrase "rubber match," right? Like we're 1-1, and this is round 3 of this fight, and somebody's going to come out victorious, and our kids are preparing hard. And I think the biggest thing we've cautioned them about is that, listen, man, you've got a team in Western Colorado that was a favorite. Like their goals and aspirations. They had so many guys returning to their program this year, and they fell short of their conference championship. So to really have the type of season and impact that they want to have, they want to go on a playoff run. And I know they're a burning desire. They're a hungry fighter that's going to come in here and throw every single punch that they can for 4 quarters. And we can't be, I use the analogy of Rocky 3, right? Like Rocky, when he got all those championships, he got soft. And Clubber Lang was hungry. And right now, I caution them that don't let Western Colorado be Clubber Lang, and you're Rich Rocky, and you're fat and soft and not hungry for a win and a playoff victory. You need to come out like Clubber Lang. We need to come out fighting and rolling and be the teams in the past that didn't win the championship and were hungry to make playoff runs. And I think we have that. I was a little worried about it on Monday. We came out and had a dynamite practice tonight. The guys were hungry. And I think this team's going to be hungry for some playoff victories.
Yeah, that's why when I say, number 5, number 15, it's just like, whoa, that you've been erasing that from your team's mind all week leading up to hosting the Mountaineers. And you've gotten to see them against other Lone Star Conference opponents. Does that film kind of help you knowing how they might match up?
Yeah, it certainly does, because you have something in common to base talent and size and speed. And, you got that against West Texas, and they played Midwestern State, but we also both played Colorado Mesa as a common opponent too. So we have 3 common opponents to go off of, and then our history, with those guys. And so there's so much history that goes into this game, really, and we've gotten a ton of respect for that program to where, we talk about other schools in the off season and all that type of stuff. So, I got a lot of respect for Coach Baines, and I know he's going to have those boys ready to play, but it does help having that common opponent.
As well as home field advantage.
Yeah.
So with that, you guys are hoping to not have too much of a Thanksgiving break.
One of the most special things, whether you're in high school or college, if you're still playing football on Thanksgiving and you get to spend Thanksgiving giving thanks with your team and that you're still playing football, that's a really special thing about high school football and college football that doesn't not every kid and every coach gets to experience that. So that's one of those things that you really don't take for granted if you can get into the next week and continue to play.
But you have to get through this weekend against Western Colorado. In your mind, what are the keys to the game? Yeah,
we're going to have to play great defense against a great passing offense and a great quarterback. We've seen the same quarterback for 3 consecutive years, and he's just getting better every year. He's incredible. They've got a really good offensive line and great skill players offensively. They run a 3-3 stack defense that blitzes all over the place. Coach Hours has been doing it for a long time. He did it back at Chadron State when Danny Woodhead was there, and now he's over here with Coach Baines. Those guys were both over there at Chadron at one point, and they're just as good a coach team as there is in the country. We're going to really have to be winning the line of scrimmage, and they're very good in the line of scrimmage. And then we've got to take that third phase, which is something we've been able to do all season, is really come out of games and go, did we win the third phase? And I think we've checked that box every week except Montana. That we've checked that box and won that third phase. And so we spend a lot of time in special teams and dedicate a lot of really good personnel to it. So we've got to be solid there. But, if you go back and look at the game a year ago, and this is not to discredit Western Colorado, because I thought they were the better team on that day, but we didn't play clean football. We turned the ball over. We took sacks. We didn't eliminate explosive plays by them offensively. And so we've got to take last year's lessons, and we've got to learn to play a little bit cleaner this year against this team. And we've got to win the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 28-21 was the end of your season against Western Colorado. For the returning players, is there any of those feelings? I mean, you texted the head coach rubber match, but you guys are in the L column against the head-to-head of Western Colorado. How does that play into it at all?
It's 1-1. We're in the win column 2 years ago. So it's going to take some breaks and some bounces and a little bit of luck as well involved in these things. And, you just really got to come out and not really worry about outcome, but worry about the individual plays one at a time. I know that's coach speak, but it's true. You just got to be laser focused and do your job. And even last year, I just felt like we had too many guys trying to do other people's jobs instead of just doing our individual jobs. And let the play have a life of its own and go out and focus and execute. And I think if we can just keep that in perspective and just go take it one play at a time, I think we'll have a good opportunity in this game.
Last question. Why should people come out to the Steve Hertling Field at Tomlinson Stadium this Saturday at 1:00?
There's nothing better than playoff football. And you got 2 teams in this state right now that are in the college playoffs in Whitworth and us. And these Washington boys, and I know they got a bunch of them too, but these Washington kids that play at the D3, D2 NAI level, these kids work hard and they don't get all of the things that the FCS and FBS kids get, but they work just as hard as those kids, and they deserve an audience. These guys do it in the classroom. They do it in the community. They're great kids. And I hope the state of Washington really shows up and shows out for their homegrown teams and come out and support these guys at 1:02 kickoff, Tomlinson Stadium, Ellensburg, Washington this Saturday.
Well, Coach Fisk, thank you so much for your time. I always like catching up.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Again, Chris Fisk, head coach of Central Washington football, the Wildcats taking on Western Colorado this Saturday at 1:00 in Ellensburg. When we come back, we'll catch up with quarterback Kennedy McGill. You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
Back just in time for Thanksgiving, it's Biscoff season at Krispy Kreme. Try our 3 festive fall donuts with sweet maple and Biscoff cookie flavor, the perfect pairing for your Thanksgiving celebrations. We're thankful for our law enforcement, EMS, and military, with 10% off every day. And don't forget, fall fundraising's in full swing. Call or stop by to schedule yours. It's fun, easy, and delicious. That's your local Krispy Kreme, 2805 Duper Tail in Richland. Come in with a sweet tooth and leave with a smile.
Living in a rental shouldn't mean settling for poor-tasting tap water. With Soft Water Specialists, you can have pure, clean drinking water in your home easily and affordably. Our countertop filtration system removes impurities, improves taste, and fits perfectly in any rental space. Plus, it can produce hot or cold water. No big installations, no hassle, just fresh, crisp water. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and love your water again. Soft Water Specialists. See why we have a 5-star rating on more than 600 Google reviews. Visit softwaterspecialist.com and love your water where you live.
This is the moment many car buyers wait all year for. The model year-end sales event is on at McCurley Chevrolet. As new Chevy models roll in, remaining 2025s need to move fast. It's the perfect time to trade in, save big, and grab a deal you won't see again till next year. These are the offers people plan around. Get here before they're gone. Experience the model year-end sales event at McCurley Chevrolet. Your way home.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
You're listening to Jamie Council on the Sports Council.
Welcome back to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. Again, we're catching up with Central Washington football, and joining us now is quarterback for the Wildcats, Kennedy McGill. Kennedy, how's it going?
It's going great. Excited to talk with you.
It's always good having you on, and love Washington products, playing at Central Washington football, and we got to keep you in state. And how's it feeling around the program right now as you guys prepare for playoffs?
Feeling good. I had some success last weekend, but now everyone's hitting that reset button and getting ready for our next opponent ahead.
Yeah, what does that process look like for you? Because obviously you're excited, you want to celebrate, and it also ended in a dramatic fashion over Western Oregon. So how long do you celebrate before kind of flipping the switch, being like, okay, who's next?
Yeah, for us, it was once Monday hit, it was on to the next opponent. So there will be time to celebrate that later on after the season, as we should, but we got focused right on Monday, and it's just next part of the season, so got to be laser focused the rest of the way.
So last time we talked was early on in the season. What would you say the Wildcat program has progressed the most since we last talked to this point, getting ready for playoffs?
I just think as a whole, as a team, just sticking together. Like, there are some games down the stretch where we were in closer games and no one lost belief. We were able to handle adversity the right way, stick together, and ultimately win football games.
I know we're looking ahead to this weekend, but just walk me through, in your eyes, the final play against Western Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, you practice for, and the pressure of the moment, it all kind of like fades away when you're out there on the field. All you got to do is, take a deep breath and just focus on the one play ahead of you. So go through your reads as you've been taught and make a play when your team needs you the most.
And that's what you did. And for this weekend, what would you say a big key for you and Central Washington offense would be against Western Colorado?
Just keep punching. We have great coaches that are putting together a great game plan for us and practicing hard. So just continue to, show discipline, effort, commitment, toughness, and pride.
For the game this weekend, it's the first time since 2017 that Central Washington has hosted a playoff game. What does it mean to have home field advantage?
It's pretty exciting. Everyone on the team is stoked. None of us here have had that experience yet. We're very excited and get to have our friends and family there to watch. Just looking forward to the opportunity.
When it comes to competing, you guys are ranked 5th. You have the Lonestar Conference Championship. How do you guys don't seem complacent?
No, yeah, it was a successful season in that aspect, but there's still more to the season. So we just have to keep our edge and continue approaching these next few weeks the way we've approached every week. And so it's a new season, playoff season. So 0-0, that's our record. Moving on.
We talked about it, first playoff home game since 2017 for Central Washington football. My final question is, why should people come watch the Wildcats this Saturday at 1 o'clock at the Tomlinson Stadium, at Steve Hertling Field at Tomlinson Stadium?
It's going to be one-of-a-kind, exciting experience. Just looking forward to having the best game possible with all my teammates around me.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Again, catching up with Kennedy McGill, quarterback for Central Washington football. When we come back, we'll catch up with Logan Brady, wide receiver for the Wildcats. You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Life happens. Lucky for you, the new ICCU Central Plus checking account comes with benefits, including cell phone protection.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
That's right. Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
Back just in time for Thanksgiving, it's Biscoff season at Krispy Kreme. Try our 3 festive fall donuts with sweet maple and Biscoff cookie flavor, the perfect pairing for your Thanksgiving celebrations. We're thankful for our law enforcement, EMS, and military, with 10% off every day. And don't forget, fall fundraising's in full swing. Call or stop by to schedule yours. It's fun, easy, and delicious. That's your local Krispy Kreme, 2805 Duper Tail in Richland. Come in with a sweet tooth and leave with a smile.
This is the moment many car buyers wait all year for. The model year-end sales event is on at McCurley Chevrolet. As new Chevy models roll in, remaining 2025s need to move fast. It's the perfect time to trade in, save big, and grab a deal you won't see again till next year. These are the offers people plan around. Get here before they're gone. Experience the model year-end sales event at McCurley Chevrolet. Your way home.
Hi there, it's me, the water boy. Are you tired of water that doesn't taste or smell right? Woo! At Soft Water Specialists, we can remove contaminants and odors, leaving you with better tasting water. Your appliances will last longer, your clothes will be softer and brighter, and your skin and hair will feel incredibly clean. And right now, get 0 down and 12 months same as cash on all our water systems. To transform your water from H2O no to H2O yeah, call Soft Water Specialists today.
Listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Welcome back to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. Well, we're talking Central Washington football and joined by wide receiver Logan Brady, a redshirt senior. How's it going, Logan?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm sure you guys are locked in, getting ready for a big game this weekend. What's the mindset around the Wildcats program in your eyes?
I think it's just the same as every week. Kind of put your head down and make all your checks, watch the defense, watch your film, work hard in practice. Kind of just not trying to make the moment too big or too little, but just kind of attacking it the same way you would every week.
Tell me a little bit about you. You've been in the program your whole career, which is very seldom in college sports these days, as well as just kind of moving your way up. So tell me a little bit about your background, a Washington product.
So my senior year was a COVID shortened senior year, so I had 7 games in the spring rather than the fall. And so I committed here based on my junior year film, was lucky enough to get kind of a good relationship going with the coaches, especially Coach Fisk, who's been here before me and will be here after me. But so I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship here. And then as far as staying in the program, my family's super close by. I love Washington. And something I really enjoyed is that every year seems to have checks and kind of improvements from the year before. So the coaches are doing a really good job of cutting things out that don't need to be there or adding things that they think will help the players. So I think it's a player first approach, and I love the coaches, fall in love with my teammates. So that's those personal relationships are kind of what keep you around.
Speaking of, personal relationships, you guys always get a little bit closer out of some big plays, and it was an exciting finish against Western Oregon. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it was a long drive. Everyone was pretty exhausted by the end. It was a long physical game, but the offensive coordinator called what he thought would work, and it was kind of one of those things that it doesn't time moves in slow motion a little bit, and so as you're working through the play, and then slow motion, and then the play's over and everything speeds up, and the kind of the gravity of what happened just kind of hits you all at once.
Walk me through that play.
So it was basically I had like a in breaking route, and I thought I had man coverage, and my job after that is to break out and find green grass. And so I stuck my foot in the ground, and then as I was turning my head, I just saw absolutely nothing out there, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just hoping Kennedy sees me out here. So I went out and find myself a nice patch of grass, and then Kennedy was starting to scramble out there. I saw his eyes light up, and he hit me in the end zone.
Find a nice patch of grass and wait for the football.
Yeah, that's the good game plan.
I like it. The game plan, find a nice patch of grass and wait for the football. Kennedy will get it to you. And talk about the chemistry that you and Kennedy McGill have built at Central.
Yeah, so I'm a year older than him, so I've watched him kind of go through all his progressions. He's obviously a great athlete, great quarterback. But one thing that probably impresses me the most is his constant need to either be better or compete more. So he will, if he notices somebody next to him that's doing something in the weight room and it's either not up to his standard or it's above his standard, he's immediately going to reevaluate, either put more weight on the bar, or he's just that kind of guy. I think he feeds off of other people and he likes to watch people excel. But I think more than that, he likes to compete and be better than people. And so it's one of those things that in the weight room, summer practices, spring ball, all those things that you like to see, like you love to see people competing. And so he's probably one of the best competitors I've ever been around. And so just to be around that and then to feed off of that and want to compete with him is, I think, where a lot of that connection comes from. I mean, it's great to be around him. He's a great kid.
For you, being a wide receiver, Central Washington kind of has a run-heavy offense. How do you stay ready as a wide receiver? Because when your number gets called, you want to show up, but it's not a consistent thing for a wide receiver in a run-heavy offense.
Right. So one of those things is that kind of with the flow of the game, you have no idea when that is going to come. So you have no choice really but to be ready at all times. And so, and the good part about that is that you know that when the ball's coming your way, it's important. You might not have as many opportunities as other people, but what you kind of make up for with that is every single ball you're targeted, or every pass attempt is just that much more important. And so there's a lot more placed on your shoulders. And I think the receivers in our room kind of love that. I think they want to be just as important as the next group, and whether that's a big third down or first down or a deep shot halfway through the game, I think they want to excel when kind of they're needed most.
Yeah, and for you, obviously showing up when your number is called, how have you progressed from, would you say, being a freshman at Central Washington to now being a redshirt senior?
I would say probably the biggest progression is mental, in terms of being more familiar with not just the plays, but why we're doing what we're doing. And so on a play-to-play basis, my understanding of what the defense is giving us, why we're attacking that part of the defense, I think that has probably grown the most. And then you get that out there in the game and you're no longer thinking about what play do I have. You're thinking about what to do either after that or how to manipulate your DB in a way that makes it more favorable for you.
So you're a redshirt senior. What are you studying off the gridiron? What's life look like for you?
So I actually am a post-grad. So I graduated with my degree in environmental science, specialized in geography. So trees, plants, the atmosphere, everything to do with the planet is kind of what I'm going around. Environmental conservation, rehabilitation of the environment is kind of just the things that I have been focusing on with my classes.
That's cool. What do you want to do with that beyond Central?
So I actually just accepted a job in North Carolina as an environmental health specialist. And so after this season, that's where I'll be heading.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Still have some work to do in Ellensburg, though.
Still got some work to do.
And tell me, in your mind, what's going to be key to the game against Western Colorado this weekend?
I think toughness and kind of resilience. So whether that's physical toughness, mental toughness, I think obviously they're a great team, and we've seen them a couple times in the playoffs, and we know their brand and they know our brand. And so it's kind of those head-on collisions where you need to be more mentally and physically tough, and then you just need to kind of play your heart out every time you go against them, because we know they're going to do the same thing.
And last question, why should people come watch Central Washington football this Saturday at 1 o'clock at the Steve Hertling Field at Tomlinson Stadium?
Just because I think there's going to be some fireworks. I think they're coming with their best and we're going to come with our best. And so I think anytime two programs like that meet, I think there's bound to be some explosions.
So Central Washington football taking on Western Colorado, number 15 this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Logan Brady, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Well, that'll wrap up this week's show of the Sports Council. Thank you for joining me on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. A reminder, the Sports Council happens 4 times a month, 11:30 a.m. on Thursdays. But you can listen to this show not just over the airwaves at 11:30 on Thursdays, but also on demand at 1340ESPNradio.com via podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search for the Sports Council. And it's also available via YouTube. So lots of ways to listen to the Sports Council and support our local sports community. Until next time, I'm Jamie Council. Now we go back to your originally scheduled Seattle sports programming.